Well, it's a staple of breakfasts and cafe fare across the country. Now the humble Aussie Hass avocado will be making its way to India. Growers firming up lucrative market access, but following a successful trade delegation with the Prime Minister, they joined the PM in India. Joining me live is Tyas, CEO of Avocados Australia, who says it's a game changer for the local industry. Thanks very much for your time. So what access is Australia getting here? Crucially, how does it compare to other countries?
Yeah, good afternoon, Tom. So this is great news for our industry. We don't really have access to a lot of markets at the moment. Most of our exports go to Singapore, Malaysia, and Hong Kong, which are open markets. And this new arrangement will allow Hass avocados from all regions of Australia to be exported to India. We're just in the process of doing 10 trial shipments, so we've got to prove that the protocol it works well and is efficacious. So that's something we're working on at the moment. Once that's done, then we'll be working with the Department of Agriculture to accredit businesses around the country to explore this market opportunity.
All right, so good for growers. What about for consumers here in Australia? Is this essentially competition for our supermarkets in terms of them getting them? Because we know we've had a lot of really cheap avocados, and I know you might say, well, hey, sometimes it means the industry is struggling, but is that the reality for consumers? We'll be paying more?
No, I wouldn't think so. We're going through a rapid expansion phase in our industry. There's a lot of trees that have been planted over the last 5 to 10 years, mainly in response to the really strong consumer demand that we have here in Australia. Years ago you would have seen some fairly high prices, and that's just really because we couldn't keep up with the insatiable appetite for avocados here in Australia. So Australia is still probably our best market and will continue to be a real focus for the industry, and we think there's still potential to grow our domestic market. We increased consumption on the back of those lower prices over the last couple of years by about 25%, but our production's expected to increase a further 40% in the next few years. So we've got lots and lots of production coming on board. The industry has experienced some growing pains over the last couple of years as a result of this. So this will help to ease some of that pain and help us continue to grow into the future.
Yeah, we saw a vision of a whole lot of avocados basically being destroyed. I'm trying to think when that was, perhaps last season. Was that the issue? Because I know talking to people within ag, they say basically avocado demand soared. People thought, great, we'll plant some trees, but they take quite a while to come on. Then they all come on at the same time. And, there's no organisation saying, hey, we better not plant too many. Demand isn't that high, despite how much we're all eating it on toast. So are they the growing pains you're talking about, and we won't see more wasted avocados in the future?
Yeah, that's right. And in fact, those images were actually of avocados that weren't of a marketable grade, what was a bit unfortunate at the time. But yeah, certainly there were growers that were supplying avocados at or below the cost of production last year, and that's simply not sustainable. So access to this new market is terrific. It's a large market. It's the avocado market in India at the moment is very much in its infancy, but it's growing rapidly. We think that over the next few years we can help to grow that market and really dominate that market, given our proximity to India compared with our competitors. We're in a pretty good spot, and we can also supply year round, which is a real advantage that we have in all of our markets, being able to supply week in, week out.
The marketing side of your job must be pretty easy. I mean, Bernard Salt, I didn't quite put you on the map, but that infamous line around young people not being able to buy a house because of smashed avo on toast at cafes, it's become ubiquitous, hasn't it? You can't go to a cafe without them offering avocado these days. And I mean, we forget that was pretty different 20 years ago. Do you just sit back and think, great, everybody keep talking about it?
Yeah, it is. It's good that it's amazing how much it gets talked about. I think it's the most Instagrammed fruit in the world. But it's very popular, not just in Australia, but around the world. And it's an amazing product. It's incredibly versatile. You can use it in sweet dishes and savoury dishes, and it really does add something special to every meal. But on top of that, it's incredibly nutritious. There's research going on around the world, particularly out of the US, that's finding new health benefits of avocados, every year or so. So it really is considered a superfood, and we think that it'll fit really well into the vegetarian diet in India. It's obviously not a product they're particularly used to. They do grow their own avocados that they use in juices and drinks and that sort of thing, but we think that they will get a real appetite for Australian Hass avocados, and we're very excited at the moment.
I'm sure you are. Pretty popular here. There's plenty in our household. My 3-year-old loves avocado. John, thank you.
Good to talk to you, Tom.